Instagram.
We are live. Yay. I love it when technology is on my side.
Yeah. Although it's not showing live on my Instagram.
Oh, it's showing on my end.
Are
you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm on my computer right now. I've got my phone next to me. But if it's showing live on yours, then it must.
Yeah, it's saying we are.
On yours, yeah, it's come up on.
Not on your account.
No, on the PMU Circle, yeah. It's come up on Liv's. Fine.
Fabulous. Okay, good afternoon, guys. We are live with Jenna Leigh today. And Jenna is going to be sharing you a couple of top tips on how to get more clients. So this is going to be a short and sweet one today. This is just a little teaser for our next live Zoom series. If you are a pro member, you will have known or seen by now that we are doing a 2-month, 10-part Zoom series with industry experts on all things marketing and getting more clients. So, Jenna, how are you?
Yes, I'm very, very well. Getting back to work now that it's half term has been and gone.
Out the way, got it out the way.
Yes, yeah, back into work mode.
I've got to say, I'm actually, strangely enough, starting to enjoy half terms.
Do you know what I did this time?
Yeah.
I actually didn't. It was really nice. I'm not good at not working, and I actually just I just had fun. I didn't really. I was just present with Luca, and I think
it's very same. Really enjoyed it actually, having that little bit of time off. Again, still worked, but it was nice slotting it in and around.
Yeah, I didn't put as much pressure on myself, I think. Whereas normally I'm like, I've got Luca there, and then I think, but hit in my head and in my body's like pumping, thinking, oh, I need to do this.
Got to do this.
Be like, oh, let's be all fun and let's have a great half term.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a really good balance this time. So
amazing. That's what it's all about, balance.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay, so I know from speaking to a lot of you guys on guidance calls that this is a bit of a struggle at the minute, is being busy, getting bookings, getting clients on the bed, hence why we're doing our next Zoom series. So Jenna, what would your top tips be for artists that, they're up and running and they just are not getting the bookings?
So first of all, my first tip would be you need to give yourself an audit. So I would audit, first of all, look at your online visibility. So where are you? Where can you be seen and where can you be found? So my suggestions would obviously be make sure you've got a website, make sure you're on Google, make sure you've got Google My Business, and then obviously whichever social media platforms you choose to be on. You could be on just one or you can be on many and repurpose. But ideally, just think about your ideal client. Where will they be? Which platform will they be on? LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, many out there. So my first thing would be to just make sure that you audit that, okay? Are you easily found? Also, make sure that you optimize all areas. So optimize your areas on your website. SEO on Instagram, optimize your Instagram bio, the same with Facebook, the same with your hashtags. You need to make sure that you give yourself a full audit first, okay? And once you've kind of done that, you can then set a roadmap to decide what you need to do next, because what I think we forget is that although, yes, we need clients, obviously once you've given yourself an audit, is your customer journey easy? Like if someone finds you, for instance, if they land on your website, is it easy for them to book? Is it easy to know if they have a consultation? Do they even know if they need a consultation? So once someone obviously then finds you, you've got to make sure that journey is really clear and really easy. But if you don't have the audience and you're trying to get clients, then that's where you need to start. So there's different places that you will start. You might have 3,000 followers, but maybe 50 of them are your ideal clients. So it could be a fact that you actually need to start in the audience growth and you're actually in that phase. So that's my first kind of tip, would definitely give yourself an audit. And think about how easy is it for you? Or say, for instance, find someone who knows nothing really about what you do, maybe in the family, or ask your partner or something, and say to them, does this tell you, like, do you know what I do from looking at this? Yeah. If I give you this and put you on this website, would you know how to book with me?
And I think that's so important, and it's something that so many artists overlook, don't they? Like the amount of artist pages that I've looked on because someone's asking for feedback on work or something like that, and they've not got their location on there. You've got no idea where they are. There's no links on there. There's no website or anything on how to book or to look at their prices or what they offer. And for me, as a potential client of somebody's, I'm lazy. I don't want to message you to find out what your website is or how much you charge. I want to be able to click on a button and have a look, especially when most of us do things of an evening, don't we? When you're technically shut and you can't just pick up the phone.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah. So that's one of my tips is, what's your visibility look like? And that can be offline as well. So I always think there's so many other ways you can be marketing apart from just relying on social media. Social media is getting harder. It's a very, very noisy, distractive place. So you need to make sure that, again, you're strategically using your social media to be able to nurture the people who are your ideal clients. So that's my first one. The second one is understand who your ideal client is. Now you can have various different ideal clients, okay? So you might have 3 different ideal clients, yeah? You might have an ideal client that's different to an for lips in regards to scalp micropigmentation. But what you need to do is you need to speak to one ideal client per piece of content, and it needs to be really specific. So when I say about the ideal client, you need to know their pain points and their desires. So it can't just be, come and have your eyebrows done, it's going to give you, a nice shape. Well, you need to give them more than that. And I think this works really, really well on storytelling posts as well. So I tend to give a lot of people advice of, when your client comes in, generally just have a nice conversation like, have you been thinking about having your brows done for a while? And you'll get into a conversation, I was worried and this and this. And in the end, you kind of paint this picture, this story that you can post, and it can become inspiring to your potential clients as well. So definitely understanding the ideal client. So their pain points, desires. The other reason you need to know that as well is because of the keywords. So going back to the visibility, like if you don't know your ideal client, how do you know what they're going to be searching for when they're looking for something specific? Or for instance, what would they search for in Google? So if they were looking for something, what would they search for?
And I think, sorry, I'm going to jump in. Google is so underused in our industry. Like everybody relies on Instagram and Facebook. But again, I know from my clientele, most of my clients actually find me through my website, which comes from Google. Yeah. Because when you're looking for something specific, first place you tend to jump on is Google, isn't it? So utilizing Google and getting your Google My Business up there and being on maps, and it's free. You don't even need to pay for that side of it, but it's so important.
Exactly. I think the thing is, going to if you look at where the various different people are in their buying journey, so there's 3%, out of the buying journey, there's 3% of people that are actually in the buying phase. Now, what that means is they are searching for permanent makeup, Leicester, permanent makeup, Essex. So 3% of the market is actively looking. The other 97% is where it comes into the fact of know, like, and trust, nurture. For instance, I've been wanting to have like Botox and stuff done for probably a good year, and I literally only just had it done last week. And it wasn't because I didn't, I knew who it was that I wanted to go to. Circumstance, busy, a bit nervous, something comes up, forget bruising. So what I think happens is we need to play the long game. And this is where you need to remember, okay, the whole point is someone might not be ready right now, but they might be ready in 6 months or a year. Your job is to stay present in their mind so that when they are ready, they say, who's that person? So when you're creating content, you need to change the expectation of getting a message or someone booking. You need to have it, I just want to get more awareness of who I am and what I do and who I help. And that's going to give you a more positive impact on what you're doing. And it's going to feel nicer posting content. Because at the minute, what I think happens, and to be fair, when I started my business 7-8 years ago, it was very much like you post and you get a client. So different now. So yeah, I think that also needs to be taken into consideration.
And it's the same with consultations. Like if you offer free consultations, you can get clients in for consultations and they still may not actually book in that treatment for a year. Like a lot of my clients will have a consult and then it's like a year down the line when they actually come in for the treatment. But it's still about getting them in, meeting them, getting them comfortable with you. And then as Jenna says, staying in their mind. So staying present. You can build an email list as well and you can send out little emails to put like people that are on your list just to stay at the top of their mind. Claire said she's started Google. Can you see the comments you're in? Yeah. She started Google a few months back and it's been a game changer.
Yeah. So the other thing that I'd say as well in regards to just knowing your ideal client is what type of buyer are they? Because you'll get different types of buyers. So you've got different buyers that are in the different buying stages, and then you've got the different ways that they buy. So you'll get like a strategic buyer, which literally will find you on Instagram and they will stalk you on Facebook, stalk you on your website, stalk your reviews, or you've got someone who's an impulsive buyer. So again, who is it? Who is that ideal client? And you know what? If you don't know who that is, you've just got to keep going and keep testing and tweaking. And eventually you'll know what's working. But you've got to go out there and do it to get there. And it's the same as like your marketing. You have a cold, warm and hot audience. Now, if you were putting a post out to one person that's in the hot audience, you would talk very, very differently in that post in comparison to someone that is in the cold audience. So it's just, again, it's having that awareness as what is the objective to this post, or what is the objective, behind anything marketing wise that you do. So if you've got the online visibility, you give yourself an audit and it's easy for people to know what you do, how you can help them. Then obviously, the pain points and desires. You can then go out and obviously bring and attract in the people so that you can get the consultations. And my last tip would really be, we are our own brand. Yeah. Like you have to be you. People buy from people. It's the whole know, like, and trust. People buy from people that they like. Okay. How can they like you or even get to know if they do like you if we aren't present? So my other biggest thing is, like, some of the clients I've worked with have seen the biggest changes just by being them and showing up.
Yeah. And this is a lot of, I know I talk to a lot of artists and they're like, I know I need to be visible and I know I need to do videos and show my face, but I really don't want to and I'm not confident. And
if you really want to grow, the only way you're going to grow is by coming out of that comfort. And I promise you that you can do all the funnels in the back end, but you've still got to show you. We are the business basically because of what we do. So,
and I think maybe starting on stories is probably a little bit easier than doing like a full-on reel for your grid. If you're not confident yet, just jump on a story and just do little short videos, and they disappear in 24 hours. So there's no pressure.
They expire in 24 hours. The other thing is you can start by doing a voiceover. So you don't have to have your face in, but you could do a voiceover. That can help. The other thing is, I would just say don't watch anything back, because I think that's the thing when you go, oh my God, look, I had this, and oh my God, my brow looked like this, and So I would just say, know what you're going to go on and talk about, and then, you kind of, I think sometimes we think too much about it.
We overthink it, definitely.
Yeah, and before you know it, it's like 10 rows down on the grid anyway, so no one really sees that.
And I definitely think the more you do it, the more natural it feels, and the more it just becomes second nature. I remember when I first started the circle 3 years ago, even doing a Zoom, I was like having an anxiety attack beforehand, like so nervous. Now I don't even think about it; just jump on, and it's just normal.
Yeah. I think it's more like, I would say, there's the difference of, imagine if I walked up to you, Layla, in the street and you'd never met me before, you never knew me. It's that whole, I come up to you and say, do you want to marry me?
Yeah.
in comparison to, you know, you've seen me, like you've seen me bow, you know,
Yeah.
and then you'd be like, I'm not married, but I'll go for a drink with you. Like that's the comparison. The other thing that I'd also say, which tends to land a lot with my clients, is imagine everything online. I want you to imagine it being in person. So as an example, imagine your Instagram grid. Imagine that is someone coming into your shop and they're looking at your, I don't know, before and after pictures or your leaflets or something. So you can either think of your grid as your shop window or someone's come into your shop. Your DMs or someone following you would be someone coming up to you and saying and asking you a question. Yeah. So like a lot of people that we tend to work with in like the DM, you know, people who are not sure how to work the DMs or DM scripts. And it's very much like I would say, if I came into your DMs and said, can you tell me how much this is? And then I said, yes, it's £250. It includes a top up. That's 4 to 6 weeks later. You're going to get an aftercare. You need to do this. You need to do that. Now, if that was face to face, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to, I need to go and pick up my bacon sandwich that I've just done. Like, you wouldn't. So the other thing that I would say is just imagine, try and imagine where you can. How would I do this if this was a face-to-face situation?
Yeah,
that can really help.
But I used to do that, Jenna. You know why? Because it was just me in my business. I was so busy and I didn't want to spend time going back and forth. So I would literally send an essay in one go. This is all the information you need. When you want to book, let me know. Bye.
See you, bye.
But obviously, as we grow and I learn all of this kind of stuff, that's what we do now. We'll go back, get in a conversation with them, you know, sentence at a time. But it is a little bit more time consuming, but it definitely makes a big difference on conversions.
Yeah, it does. And just think, the people who don't need that, the people who are DMing you need the nurture. If they don't need the nurture, they'll go to your link in bio and their book.
Yeah.
Right? So someone's messaging you because they need to feel safe. They need to know that you're right. So it's not a case of, you know, if all the information is everywhere and they're still messaging you, that's a sign to be like,
they need a little bit of time.
Can you make me feel okay? Like, I really want to do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So again, you just got to think the people who are just ready to book, or, you know, even if you would send that message, Leigh, you still probably would have got a percentage of people that would just then go and book.
Just do it. Yeah. It's like, there's my link, book online, don't message me. I don't have the time.
But then the others who need that little bit more nurturing, you just need to leave it open. And one thing I'd always say is always make sure that you leave everything on a positive note. Like if someone goes, oh, I'm not sure at the minute, you know, don't feel like I can remember when that feels a bit like a stab, especially when you want clients, you need clients, it can feel like a real kick in the stomach, like, for God's sake, it's going to be another person that's just asking for the price. Like,
and all that time going back and forward.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a waste of time.
You try and change that attitude, and no matter whether someone buys from you or they don't buy from you, give them the best experience from the minute you speak to them to the end, because you don't know who they know. And if they don't have something done, they might tell their friends, going, I tell you what, I didn't book it, but she was really lovely. Like, she didn't pressurize me into booking anything. Like, and that in itself, again, you're leaving a nice positive mark on someone, whether they book or not. So if you change that intention, and the intention is different, then it helps. Which I know is really difficult when you're in the mindset of I need more clients. But it's something that we have to try and change in our mind. Otherwise,
I feel that when you're so desperate for clients,
you push it away.
It comes across in your messaging. Yeah. You're very sort of sharp and short and pushy, and then if they don't book, you've got the ump and you're rude, but you're probably losing more clients by being in that mindset.
Yeah. You attract, I mean, energy, you know, positive, negative energy is contagious anyway. So you'll attract what you put out there. And I don't mean that necessarily in a woo-woo way, but it is like, it does come across that way. But I mean, kind of going back to, you know, getting the clients, I would say there's always three places that there's three ways to do that. First of all, your current clients, they are the main people that you need to go to first. So you need to try and get more spend out of them, or you need to get them to be recommending you. So you need a really good tight referral scheme. And I don't mean a referral scheme that's like, I've got a referral scheme. It's like you have a process, you know, they maybe fill out a form, or are you interested in the referrals? Before they leave, you make sure that they're signed up for the referral scheme if they want to. You make sure you have a community for the people that are in the referral scheme. You make sure you have a KIP method, which is a keep in touch method, to make sure that you're, you know, like running competitions. Whoever can get me the most referrals this month is going to, you know, get X, Y, Z. So you have to continue with that. So not just like a referral scheme. Here you go, here's a card, and I'm going to stamp it. Like, it needs to be better than that. So the first place is your current clients, because they know, like, and trust you, and they already buy from you. I would say if that client is recommending their friend to you, that's like me recommending you to someone. You probably wouldn't look at their website or their Instagram because you've just gone by, well, yeah, it's been great for me and it's been perfect. You'd probably be more likely just going to book in.
Yeah, definitely.
Do it. Then the second one is borrowing other people's audiences. So whether that's collaborating, you know, I always say, for instance, as an example, you could go and do a hairdresser's brows. They will talk about you all day long. You can offer them an incentive for talking, you know, getting them clients. But again, it works on that trust factor, because you're using someone else to magnetize that trust. It brings them closer to you because they trust that person. It's going to be easier. So the first one is your own clients and a referral. The second one is collaboration. And the third one is, that's when you're going to go out and focus on getting this audience online. Yeah. But where do most of us all worry about this whole cold audience, trying to get more followers, when actually there's so many more in the warm and hot phase that we can kind of work with.
And that you're probably going to get in that door much quicker than the cold audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Claire said she started short videos of her talking all this educational regarding PMU and skin, and it's really improved my vast area of people becoming aware of me.
Yeah, well done, Claire.
I love people that learn and implement. This is how you get clients, is implementing what you're learning.
Absolutely.
How many of us learn all this stuff and never add any of it into practice?
We just did a Reels challenge in SOS, and we did I gave everyone a reel to do every single day. And towards the end, I think it was the last 3 or 2, I'd put my face. So I basically recorded me doing it and said, this is what you need to do, basically. And actually they did it. It was so amazing.
Yeah.
And they were so shocked that they did it. But the stats, the insights were incredible. I'm not saying do reels every day. We just obviously did it as a challenge. And actually this whole consistency, think about consistency as people get confused that consistency is like, oh my God, I need to do a post, 2 posts, 3 posts a day. It's about consistency and work out what's your consistent. Can you commit to doing, 3 days a week? If so, keep it at 3 days a week. Don't feel pressured. What I'd rather you do is do 3 days a week every week than do 7 days. Oh my God, let's go, and leave it for 2 weeks, which actually don't look at my Instagram.
That's what I
do. So please don't look at mine recently because we're going through a massive rebrand at the minute. But yeah, so consistent doesn't mean every single day, all the time. It's what's good for you and keeping that at a consistent level. Think again about the consistency in your ideal client's mind. You need to be consistent. They need to see you. They need to know that you're still there. So you don't want to be consistent for 7 days and go AWOL for 3 weeks. Be consistent for 3 days and go AWOL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my things that I'm working on at the minute, is my consistency.
I'm the same. What I've found is I'm too busy helping everyone else build their business that I leave mine
about yours.
Anyway.
Right.
Yes.
So we hope that's helped. And this is just a little snippet of what is coming. We have full live training with Jenna as part of our Zoom series coming up across July and August for pro members. So I'm really, really excited for these. If you guys can't make us live, they will, of course, be recorded and added to your e-learning platform. Don't forget, you now have Jenna back in the members group doing your Instagram audits.
Yeah.
So the dates, Katie's put the dates up, hasn't she, in the members group for those. And there is a little post for you to add your handles to see who is going to be. I even put mine on there. I was like, yes, me too.
Perfect.
And
well,
then just
draw them out. I'm just gonna
pull them out random.
So I'll just draw them out at random. Yeah.
Amazing. And if Jenna doesn't pick your Instagram, you're probably still going to learn loads from it anyway, because it's amazing how many of us are all doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Where is this for the IG audit? So it's in the Pro Members Facebook group, that'll be. So that's for Facebook, the PMU Circle Pro members.
Is it in the events section?
Yes, you'll find it in events.
Yeah.
In the members group, but Jenna will go live in the members group doing it as well.
Yeah.
And then there it goes. I managed to hold it off all that.
Yeah, you did.
Wow. And then I have one other little thing coming up. You're going to see it on my Instagram grid following this live. We will be running a little competition. So if anyone is not a pro member and you really, really want to tune in on this next live Zoom series, we will be running a little competition for somebody to win 6 months free access to the Pro. And there will also be one for a member to also get their next 6 months free. So stay tuned for a little competition. I know you've got another call, Jenna, so I shall let you go. Thank you so much for that today.
No, thank you. Thanks everyone that joined.
Hopefully it's been helpful, guys. I'll post the replay to this on our grid, and stay tuned for the next Zoom series because it is going to be bloody immense. I'm so excited for it.
Me too.
Right, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.